Have you ever stepped onto an escalator and looked down at that moment where the moving step disappears into the floor? Right there, at the very edge, there is a row of tiny metal teeth, a comb-like strip that lines both the top and the bottom of every escalator you have ever ridden. You have stepped over it hundreds of times without thinking about it. It looks almost decorative, like a finishing detail, like someone just wanted the edge to look neat. But those tiny metal teeth are not decoration. They are one of the most important safety features on the entire machine, and the dark reason they exist will make you look at every escalator very differently. From this moment on, welcome to History Behind Simple Things. Today we are uncovering the hidden purpose behind the tiny metal teeth at the top and bottom of every escalator in the world. To understand why those teeth exist, we first need to understand how an escalator actually works. Beneath your feet, an escalator is essentially a loop of individual metal steps attached to a continuous chain. That chain pulls the steps up or down in a smooth, rotating cycle. At the top and at the bottom, each step has to transition from moving diagonally to moving flat, and then disappear beneath the floor plate, so the chain can loop back around underneath. This transition point is one of the most mechanically complex moments in the entire escalator system. The step is moving, the floor plate is stationary, and for a brief moment, a moving surface and a fixed surface meet at exactly the same level. That gap, the space where the moving step meets the stationary floor, is where the problem begins. In the early days of escalators, that transition point was essentially a straight flat edge, a clean line where the step disappeared. It worked, but engineers noticed a disturbing pattern in accident reports. Loose shoelaces were getting pulled in. The soft toe of a rubber shoe was getting caught in the gap. Small items dropped onto the steps. A scarf, a bag strap, a piece of fabric were being dragged down into the machinery with frightening speed and force. And here is what made it genuinely dangerous. The escalator motor does not feel resistance the way you would. It does not slow down when something gets caught. It keeps pulling with the same relentless mechanical force. So when a shoelace caught in that gap, it did not just get tugged. It was yanked in completely, pulling the shoe with it, and in some cases, pulling the foot inside the shoe, directly into the machinery. The injuries were severe, and they were happening with enough frequency that engineers knew the design needed a fundamental rethink. The solution was the comb plate. Instead of a straight flat edge at the transition point, engineers redesigned the floor plate to have a row of thin metal teeth, grooves that pointed inward like the teeth of a comb, and the edge of each escalator step was redesigned to have matching grooves cut into it, so the teeth of the floor plate slotted perfectly into the grooves of the step as it disappeared beneath. Here is why this was brilliant. Those interlocking teeth mean there is no longer a clean open gap at the transition point. Instead, the space is broken up into dozens of tiny narrow channels. If a shoelace or a piece of fabric hits that edge, instead of being pulled straight down into the machinery, it meets the teeth. The teeth catch the material and prevent it from being dragged cleanly into the mechanism below. It does not eliminate the risk entirely, but it dramatically reduces the force and speed at which an item can be pulled in, giving the rider a crucial fraction of a second to pull free. There is a second function those teeth serve that almost nobody thinks about. The grooves cut into both the floor plate and the steps act as a self-cleaning mechanism. Dirt, grit, and debris that accumulates on the steps is channeled into those grooves and directed away from the machinery below. Without the comb pattern, debris would build up at the transition point and gradually work its way into the drive chain and motor, causing mechanical wear and breakdowns. The teeth keep the machine cleaner and running longer. So the next time you step onto an escalator and your eyes drop to that row of tiny metal teeth at the edge, you will know the story behind them. They are not finishing details. They are not decorative trim. They are the result of real accidents, real injuries, and an engineering team that looked at a dangerous design and found a simple, elegant fix that has been quietly protecting riders for decades. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden purpose behind this simple thing, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe to History Behind Simple Things for more surprising stories behind the everyday world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.